Today we're going to look at LO2. We'll continue with LO2, but this LO2 will have two parts. This is LO2 part 1, video number 3 in our LO2 presentations. So we're going to look at supply chain strategies in our part 1 segment. We're going to review at least 3 strategies. So at the end of this video, you'll have a really brief understanding of outsourcing, offshoring, and futures contracts. So let's get straight to it. Outsourcing, usually confused with subcontracting. Outsourcing is a long-term strategy, and it often starts when an organization looks within itself, identifies a so-called non-core activity, removes it, and gives it to a third-party provider. So an activity that was once done internally is now done externally by a provider. This is often done through a tendering process. One other thing though on outsourcing. Over the years, we have seen companies outsource core activities. So core activities also or can also be outsourced. Why? Why would one outsource core activities? Well, it is often seen that other parties can do it better than you. That's why we do it. If my core activity is research and development, the possibility exists that other organizations might be able to do it better than I can do it. Right? So that's another way of looking at it. Subcontracting is a short-term activity. Must never be confused with outsourcing. Outsourcing is well thought out, very much strategic. And why is supply chain involved in outsourcing? Well, the supply chain professional has to carry out the tendering process, and the supply chain team has to also monitor the provider or the contractor. Then we move to offshoring. Many organizations offshore their functions, but that term offshoring means that you're taking your function and you're relocating it in another geographical area, usually done in lesser developed countries or countries where they have more relaxed laws and where labor tends to be cheaper. So for example, just an example, Apple may take a particular core activity and shift that activity, let's say production, to China. Now they still own the activity, but it's now set up in a lesser developed country or in a country that provides cheaper labor. Futures contracts, often used in the aviation sector, and it's used as well for commodity items. I'll give you an example of futures contract used in the aviation sector. Many a times in the aviation sector, the price of fuel spirals. So whenever the price of oil is high, automatically there's a downstream effect. The price of fuel, well, Jet A1 fuel and all other oil-related items tends to go up. So what airlines have done is hedge prices or hedging. So they will negotiate with a supplier to cap a price for a particular period. Yes, it's risky, but it can often save your supply chain / your organization millions of dollars. So whenever the price goes up, you would not be at a loss because you would have negotiated a price over an extended period. Yes, there can be a reverse to that. The price may crash, the market may crash, and then the price of Jet A1 fuel will collapse, and you might be losing, right? It's quite possible. So that's it there for part 1, LO2, video number 3 on procurement or supply chain strategies.